we typically go around the room and talk about. Oh,
We're on live now, so it's too late. You have to find out online. It's okay. Nobody's watching right now. Nope. Well, I take that back. We do have some guests. Hang on. We have Gary Mullane is here all the way from Ireland. Andrew Sada is here. And Mr. Blue Sky is here. Yeah, we will hopefully get to this topic as we go through the evening.
Yes.
So glad you guys are joining us. We have some friends. We also have some invites out to a couple more. Hopefully they'll be rolling in. But we have a new guest here today, and we will get to him in just a minute. He's a friend of ours from our club, which we always we're peach lug heavy in this chat. It's okay.
It's
right?
true.
It's true. It is very true. And Jeff, I think Jeff is here. The American Jeff. I think he's sort of here. He may be here. So anyway, thank y'all for joining us this evening. How are y'all doing? Y'all doing all right?
Doing good, Chris. I sent you that file you just asked about.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will. Did you email it?
Yes, I did. I replied back to the StreamYard invite.
Gotcha. All right. I will check that in just a second. All right. Let's go around the room. I have to hit the buttons. Mark's not here. Let's start with our Canadian friend, Jeff Van Winden. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm not doing anything. What are you talking about? There's nothing going on here.
You have put down 7,872 bricks since I talked to you on Monday. I swear.
That is possible. I'm just. I'm more than halfway through building this monstrosity of a castle, and I'm just working on a module trying to get the next inner wall here up to height. It's taking longer each module now, just because I'm also right now I'm 6, 12, 18. I'm 24 bricks off the ground already at this point. And it's still going up. I still have basically from here, I'm trying to point on the big screen. It's got to go 2 modules over, 3 more 48s across, and then it will connect to the next part of the spiral and go up. So I'm almost there, but
that's amazing. That's just seriously amazing. And I'm excited that I'm going to get to see it live in Brick Fair, Alabama. So
yep.
The borders are open. The Canadians will be invading us.
Early November, we'll be able to cross. So
finally.
Sweet.
But not Dave Codice, because he's bitter, as I learned on Jeff's stream.
Yes.
Oh, is he? Why is he bitter?
He doesn't want to leave Canada.
Because we closed the border. Canadians couldn't come over.
So he's in
the opportunity.
He's in a bitter mode because he can't come over.
We closed the border to Canadians.
In reality, it's just he wants to. They want to just hang out a little bit longer at home and not risk anything. Dave's mother-in-law lives with them, and she's in her late 80s. So
yeah,
she's vaccinated and everything, but they just don't want to risk anything, right? So
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tennis is that? Y'all told me how to say this guy's name. Is here. We'll good ahead.
In tennis,
or is it Intness? Anyway, welcome. Glad you're here. We are ruining your reputation on the internet right now. Fever is here, and Pete's lug is heavy. Thank you very much. Mr. Blue Sky is here. Welcome. All right, awesome. Glad you guys are here. All right, let's do just another quick. Let's see what's up with Pink Wheels. Pink Wheels, how are you today?
Doing good. So have you ever had the instance where you order something from Lego, it ships, and a month later you're like, yo, Lego, where's it at? And they're like, so sorry, we're going to have great customer support, and we're going to send it to you again. And then that order shows up, and they don't care. They're like, whatever, keep it. I got double my Brick-a-Brick order. So
no way.
That's always great.
I have done that once or twice.
I have a ton of these now.
Ooh. Sparkly.
And I have a ton of.
I am not making a joke. Go ahead.
Hey, I try to keep it clean here. It's a family friendly. I have some of these now.
Those are the Zamor
Ooh,
Those are
you got
examples.
double
like
your weight
120 of those.
masonry bricks?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
building, like Jeff's building a giant white castle. I am building a giant white castle. So,
Awesome.
You
They're
seem
from
to
the
have been
Queer Eye
given a
set.
note from off stage.
and I'm working on some spiral staircases.
Ooh.
Yes. Can you show? Can you quickly show the progress on the big white?
Okay,
castle?
well, here's a quick progress on what I'm working on right now.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Ooh.
There it is.
It looks like a cake, I swear.
So that house, I took a picture of a house that when
You
we were
muted, by the
driving
way,
up to
Meredith.
Brick Fair, and somebody told me that the house I took a picture of was actually called the Wedding Cake House. But your house, yours looks like it could be on a wedding cake.
That's kind of how it looks. So
I think it's amazing, and it should be a moon-based module. FYI, just
it
saying.
is a moon castle. So it's.
See?
I'm gonna hide the moon guys in the background. They're gonna be like drilling into the castle, taking some core samples.
You should build it on a mountain, and that little mountain base has moon-based connectors to it, and snap it into the moon base, and it will be amazing.
What do you think, Nat?
Yes.
He's not giving me any opinion.
Gotcha. All right. Good
Are we
deal.
going to talk about your hair cutting skills, or is she going to stay camera shy?
She's over there being an artiste, but hold on, maybe I can. There's my hair cutting skills. Apparently, I can.
Look at that.
It's
That's like
lovely.
better than Lego hair.
I was
It
going to
is.
say that looks like Lego hair. It's awesome.
It kind
It
of
is amazing.
could be a Lego haircut.
I need to cut my hair, but nobody can cut it for me.
It's lovely. What a lovely young
I
lady.
call this length the full Chewbacca, where I have to like do the mustache.
Is it a Wookiee pelt? On the, never mind. That was what.
Yes, it's pretty much that because my husband finds the hair everywhere, all over our house, in the laundry. It's like cat hair.
Yes. My wife has
Yeah.
long hair, and I'm not going to discuss where it ends up. It's just the worst. Absolute worst. All right, let's see. Oh, our other Jeff is here. Jeff R., what's going on in your world?
Not much, just doing a bit of work on a failed project and deciding what I want to do from here with it.
It's not a fail if you're still working on it.
No, I gave up. I'm starting something new. It's definitely a fail.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's a success if you make something new that's better. So that's
Exactly.
all a success. All good. All right, Jeff, glad you're with us. Let's see. Matt, have we been to Matt? Matt, what's up in Matt's world? Real quick.
So the first of my double VIP sets arrived today, but that's another topic for later.
Yes.
It's continuing on the epic journey into Lego Census 2021. We are now like 55% of the way through, and it's still counting. But that's pretty much it. And I'm sorting a giant bin of Lego downstairs in front of the TV that I bought off Facebook Marketplace probably like 4 years ago, and I finally decided that I ought to sort that because it was taking up room in my Star Wars office, and I was like, I could make this go away. I could shift it up to the Lego room. So I'm sorting in front of the TV, and I'm counting during our show, and I'm patiently waiting for bulk lug to arrive and VIP orders. But okay, maybe not so patiently, but I'm waiting nonetheless. So.
I heard
That's
you.
it.
My son was making fun of me off camera, and I had to mute and go, "What?" And we had that dad moment of, "What the heck are you talking? I didn't do that." Anyway, so I probably did. He said I reached down to grab the mouse, and I grabbed a handful of brick, and then I just didn't even pay attention. But he was all making fun of me. So it's what teenagers do. He also has a nappy head. Look! I'm not gonna do it. He just had a shower. Anyway, all right, let's see. We've been around to everybody. Our new guest today is
What are you doing to me? Do you want to do
Oh.
me first, and then we can
Oh,
go
skip
Pinky,
him.
or what are you doing? You're the things
yeah,
I have
I'm
to
not-
put up
I'm
with
not
when
put-
Mark's not here.
I'm not giving you song credit because you have a solo album out. And anyway,
He
My
tries
solo-
to pretend like it's not an accident that he forgets you.
So wait,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. And my solo album has like 10 viewership, so don't. I mean, it's,
You
At
got it.
best,
By the
it's
way,
a
you need,
B-side.
you need to change your rating settings so people can subscribe and comment and stuff. Because
I did. I don't understand why if it's still giving it, but
So
I-
who's Justin Timberlake and who's in sync?
No, which
He is-
which what, are you
I'm
Paul
not quite sure
McCartney?
what you're talking about.
Are you
Okay, I'm
John
the
Lennon?
fat one. Okay, I'm just going.
So you're Joey.
And
said
I was
solo
thinking
album.
more like, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, something a little more, the Eagles. I could be Glenn Fry. Actually, Chris, you're more of a Glenn Fry. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm a Joe Walsh, man. I'm Joe Walsh.
Are we all supposed to know? Oh, wait, I just went Southern on you guys. Are we all supposed to know what you're talking about?
oh, the fact that I have a Friday afternoon at 3:00, I do a YouTube stream of just me talking about my
Yes.
A Full Life this week. However, this week I got an iPad, so now I can do Instagram instead.
Ooh.
I may do them both. I haven't figured out. I'll got between now and 3:00 tomorrow to figure out which I'm going to do. If I'm doing both, or if I'm going to just do one. I don't know. We'll see.
Martin has found some great success doing that. He does a great Instagram show. So
Well, that's just it. I've seen so much goodness happen with Instagram from Martin and so many other people, and on top of the fact that I've already got like 1,800 followers on
There you go.
Instagram, and I did like not even a 5-minute video about my Costco adventure where they're at, the adults asking me, how old is my son, and I'm like, it's for me. And explaining the fact that my wife's like, well, what does she think about it? It keeps me out of the bars, and that was it. And I got like over 200 views on that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I should just do this on Instagram instead. I mean, we do a great thing, and we do great following here on YouTube with Old Gray Bricks, but I think for my side project, I might move it to Instagram. But again, what I have been doing this week is I finished this monstrosity last night.
that is not Mario.
Not Mario. It's me, Italian plumber. Just under 7,500 pieces. So this is about the equivalency of building the new UCS Millennium Falcon, which is no longer the largest set anymore, not even by close anymore. But this thing probably took 14 to 16 hours over a week, and it took that long specifically because they didn't have instructions for me. Even though they've done instructions, this was an earlier prototype build that didn't follow the new instructions, which have, different colors for the internal pieces. So your brain doesn't go crazy by trying to fill in all the blue, brown, and red and white bricks on the instructions. And then they didn't even have instructions for me. I had to build it from studio.
Oh my!
When I would open that thing, and granted, I had to click on the instructions tab because it was broken up into, build sections, but it wasn't like zoomed in here, there, wherever, it wasn't in great angles. So I had to figure out where to go put it myself. So it took even longer to do that. And then tack on the fact that I'm doing it with acetone and gluing it together. So it took a little longer than I planned on, but I've got it done for them. I think they're shipping it either out someplace tonight or tomorrow evening, or it's going someplace on Saturday. I'm not sure. It's going to be going across the country in different shows to be seen, and for people to buy the Italian plumber instructions and parts from the Bricker Builds guys. One quick thing though, before we go on to the this Old Gray Bricks side of the week, did you know that if you order something from Amazon and you need to return it, you can return it to Kohl's and they'll ship it for you?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Kohl's will give you $5 in Kohl's cash just for returning the product.
Really?
I did not know
What?
this.
I know you can do it to Whole Foods. I didn't know you could do Kohl's.
It's like a free minifig.
Or $5 off a Lego set that you only want the head out of. That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
So, ironically, Matthew and I have discussed, well, can't you just get the piece you need from, Bricks and Pieces, or just because of Minecraft, they don't sell the pieces on Bricks and Pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's like proprietary Minecraft crap. I don't know. Can we say that? Is it okay? to
Yeah,
say?
crap's good. Crap's okay.
Crap's good. So it's proprietary Minecraft crap, and I looked up. I'm like, well, maybe I'll just order the head that I need, and it's like $4 for just the piece. And I'm like, I could buy the set and then turn around and sell the other figures and get back probably most of my money minus the one figure that I want. Or I can sell the pieces that I don't need from this figure, and probably like the torso, I think it goes for like $4. I'm like, boom. I'm going to take my $5 in Kohl's Cash, get a Minecraft set that it's like almost 12.5% off basically because $5 is off. I'm like, that's even better than double points. Probably not as good as a full day, but it's $5 in Kohl's Cash that I wouldn't have used if I wasn't there. So I got that.
That's okay. Go ahead and blow out the topic right now. Let's go ahead and this.
It's a segue. It's a segue.
All right.
But other than that, let's go ahead and talk about this Old Gray Brick set of the week real quick, and then we can move on to our guest, Pinky the Brain. Here we go. Old Gray Brick set of the
Week.
CMF of the
CMF set of the week.
CMF set of the week. The Old Gray Brick CMF set of the week is Retro Space Girl.
It says Spaceman.
Oh, you know what happened?
Dun,
Hey, just because they got lipstick and long hair does not mean that their gender is automatically female.
Oh,
shouldn't-
my
if that
bad.
was
You know what?
a
Hopefully I have the information correctly on the second screen.
Also, if that were the case, wouldn't it be Intergalactic Astronaut?
There we go. Intergalactic Girl. Here we is.
or
There she is.
Intergalactic Space Traveler.
It's space. I don't care what you say.
Or badass space woman. Can we say
I
that?
think she's kind of hot. That's all I'm going to say.
Silver-
Theme
silver-
collectible minifigure
silver.
series 6. She came out in 2012. She actually had 9 pieces. I must have my screen didn't say that. Must be something with. Yeah, there we go. I put the 9 pieces in the minifigures. Can you tell I was trying to eat dinner while I was doing this and failed miserably? It was $2.99 in 2012. Today she runs you about $5 loose on average, or if you can get her new, she runs about $8.50. It can go up or down depending on who's got it for sale. But I gotta say this about Intergalactic Girl. This is only one of 2 figures that has that L3 bar in trans blue. Her and the Series 1 Space Guy are the only 2 to have that trans blue L3 rod, and she is the only figure to have that bright pink or dark pink helmet. This is the only set that this comes in. So I think that's kind of unique to this and kind of increases the value from probably a lot of buyers' perspectives, because those 2 pieces are not common, and that definitely gives a good retail on her. And on top of the fact is, out of all the space minifigures that we've seen in the collectible miniseries, I gotta say that her torso and legs are top notch.
Right.
I love this figure. I think today, if they redid her, she'd have printing on her arms and printing on the sides of her legs, which would just increase it even more. So I love the fact that she's got gold lipstick. If they had given her blue eyeshadow to go along with that gold lipstick, it would have been even better.
So,
But
This segment
Dana-
needed ZZ Top. She's got legs playing in the background.
it probably did. It probably did. If a minifigure was hot, this is definitely one of those hot minifigures.
so Dana, are you saying that woman of plastic is for you? That you prefer the fake as opposed to the real?
No, I still prefer the real.
Okay, all right.
But that concludes this All Break Set of the Week, Intergalactic Girl. Let us talk to Pinky, Mr. Shannon.
Yeah. Mr. Blue Sky asked you if that's built out of Lego. Yes, that's from Bricker Builds, correct? Yeah.
The instructions are from Bricker Builds. It was designed by Dave Holder out of Australia, who happens to be one of the set guys or one of the build production guys, along with Lego Man on the Australian Lego Masters. Yes, it was entirely built out of Lego.
You understand that every time you say Australia, I have to do it like Gene Hackman in Superman 2.
Now,
Australia.
I was wondering what that was.
I
And
could
I was
not
like,
hear Australia without seeing Gene Hackman with his stogie. Australia.
so I got a quick segue comment though. I mean, do you guys know who Dave Holder is as far as builders go?
I think so.
A little bit. Well, I mean, he's designed all the big Bricker Build sculptures. So like all the Pokemon and the helmets and the busts and stuff like that. He's been the main designer for the Bricker Builds guys. he went, they have like a Lego Land or Lego store or Discovery Center in Australia, similar to what even in the States.
Mhm.
And he had done a runoff competition like they do to work as the master builder at Legoland or whatever one of those things were, and had gotten the job. And then he beat out for the job. I guess his name is Kale. He's one of the contestants on Lego Masters in Australia.
Scale.
Yeah.
Scale.
Yeah. And I was talking to Adam Niles, and he was explaining the fact about Kale and that, he was kind of obnoxious, over the top, arrogant, and
not kind. Not kind.
Yeah, not kind of. He's like, well, this guy must be just like this way for the show. And come to find out, no, that's this guy's character. So this guy, Kale, got beat out by Dave to be the Lego master at one of the parks or whatever it was, got irritated and upset about this, went to the media about the fact that Dave, like years before, on either social media or something, went off on something off color. It was, it had been like years and years and years before. Sent this information to the media, sent this information to Lego saying, this is the guy who you have hired for this job. And it got him fired.
So
I really don't like the Kale guy anymore, even more so than what I've heard and not like him from the show.
all right, so I'm going to
You
be
can
devil's
watch.
advocate
You can watch.
here.
You can
And
watch Lego Masters.
go ahead, Matt.
You can watch Lego Masters Australia on Prime. I think it is the first season.
Yeah.
Kale is definitely the villain, and I too thought maybe it was just editing. But then he came on Sort Lug, which is like a 12-hour Friday night, and he's exactly that person. Like, they asked, somebody said something like, well, maybe you could be on like Lego Masters All-Stars. And his first comment was, well, if they gave me someone who would build, maybe I could win. I mean, he is that guy. Like, unedited, that's exactly who he is. And so I'm not at all surprised that he was that petty. Because Kale is the best at everything if you listen to him, and everybody else is inferior. So I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah.
Kale scale, I think, is not only his building scale, but his ego scale.
Yeah. And then come to find out when I guess it wasn't, whether it was season 1 or whatever season he came back for as like a guest or something like that, he would walk up to Dave just like nothing ever happened. Like it was no big deal. Like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong.
Wow.
Total D-bag. And you can use whatever word you want for the D in there. But
I mean, depending on what this dude said or may not have said or whatever, like, I know that. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to get into it right now.
By the way,
he's like younger, and I mean, because people don't grow up and they don't mature and they don't realize, oh, I did things in the past that may have not been correct, but you should have that held over you for the rest of your life because nobody changes. Not so much.
Unless the Lego community decides that not a big deal, time to move on. Jeff, stop bringing it up. So, oh well.
Exactly. I mean, if nobody cares and it's not a big deal, move on.
Hey, Dana. By the way, that file you sent me is like, it needs to be like 3 megabytes. I don't know if you can rescale that or not. By the way,
let me see what I can do. What I can do.
But anyway, our guest is a friend of ours from our club. Is right here. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. Hello.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I live here in Atlanta, and I go to Peach Lug with many of these wonderful people. This is my Lego room. It's kind of in a state of disorganization at the moment, and currently I'm kind of doing the ever popular sport of sorting, Lego sorting. So I'm sorting bricks and pieces orders that have been coming in, and they've been piling up, and I haven't done anything with them. So I'm getting around to that right now.
All right. What are your major? What do you like to build?
What are my themes? Let's see. I like the modulars as a collectible theme. For I'm probably big on Marvel. I like some of the Disney stuff, and actually, I'm one of those guys that's actually big into Friends. I think originally I thought Friends was kind of pointless and silly, and I kind of disliked the whole mini doll thing. And I was one of the people that came around to it and realized, you know what? The amazing thing about Friends is they got some great color palettes. They got some great designs in the sets. And if you don't like the mini dolls, you can just swap them out for minifigures because a lot of their stuff fits in with the city scale stuff. And even the mini dolls at times have their place too that I think actually work really well. So,
Cool.
and then I
All right.
probably like for building, I like to doing mocks. I do food trucks and I do modular buildings as mocks mostly.
Cool. I have 2 questions for you. Number 1,
Yes.
do you think that Lego Friends is getting better town than city? I mean, the designs for town, is it better in Friends than it is for regular Lego City?
I would say that who's ever the primary person working over at the Friends section, the designer for Friends, they're definitely bringing in some very fresh stuff. They're bringing in stuff into Friends that I would have loved to have seen as a kid. You know, the shopping mall, I got the shopping mall set just because that's a pretty amazing set. Even if I don't keep it as a display piece, just the fact that they're doing stuff like that even though Lego itself is supposed to be genderless, that's a great set too. I've debated many times on getting that one. I've kind of waited to see if I can get it on a really good discount, but stuff like that is
I got it for $25.
Huh?
I got
You
it
got
for
it for $25?
$25.
That's amazing. But I mean, stuff like that, whoever's doing stuff like that, I mean, and I know that they kind of get a little bit more wiggle room because they can do stuff that's targeted towards girls primarily that sometimes boys wouldn't necessarily like, but as a side benefit of that, the little boys that do like that stuff have the ability to have those kind of sets.
And they are chock
So
full
the
of
other-
fantastic parts.
Oh yes, they've got some great color.
Yep.
They got some great color pieces. They come up with they've been around enough now that they're coming up with their own unique parts. They get introduced in friend sets and then end up spilling over into the other themes.
Yep. All right.
The other thing
Now I
that
have-
that
Go ahead.
the other thing that Shannon has done, he has done a killer tattoo parlor, including doing his own graphics, where there's a board that he made as a sticker where people can pick out what kind of tattoo they want, and then he has a guy in a chair, which I saw that and I had thought maybe about doing a tattoo parlor, but when I saw how good his was, I was like, I don't think I can top that.
Yeah.
That is one of my pride and joys. That's one of my crowning pieces at the moment.
Shannon does bring some amazing. All right. So I have the second question is, do you still feel guilty for knocking my spaceship over at Atlanta Brick Convention? Wait. I need to check.
What if I threw a big plot twist in there and somebody slipped me $5 to do it?
I
No,
would.
no,
guess
I can-
it was
As
Matt.
soon as I hit that table and I started knocking it over, I felt so bad about that. And the fact that you will not let me live that down, that is your right. I will probably carry that to my grave of messing up Chris's ship at one of our displays. So
Yeah, it came back together, all that kind of stuff. But understand in this chat that no one forgets. Okay, no one forgets anything.
I didn't do that. That's not me.
Well, hey,
No,
just you don't know because you're not a regular, but there's a certain screenshot for Dana that we will.
Yes, because no one ever forgets.
There it is, right there.
Nothing is ever dead.
No,
Nothing's ever
Nothing's
dead.
ever
Never
dead.
dead.
I guess I need context for that. What was that all about?
I was building this rover type thing. I had this idea in my head. I built it in studio and everything was looking great. And I was working out with some design ideas to make the legs movable, kind of like a big ant and stuff like that, and the wheels. And I put it all together and I put it on my table and it just went plop. Physics is a
Gravity had different plans. Gravity said no.
physics is a bitch. Physics is a bitch. And so me thinking, oh, I'm going to share this with my fellow Lego enthusiasts because they're going to be, they're going to find it entertaining and they'll find it fun
Empathetic.
and commiserate with me for a moment. And, it's okay. No. I have evil friends. They are evil. Like the
Have
fruit
you not
of the
met us?
devil evil.
Have you not met us? Do you not know us in person?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
we
I
invited
should
on somebody who
have known
knocked over a Makamon. I mean, that's
So Shannon, the biggest thing you have to be thankful for is nobody took a picture right after Gideon's spaceship was in pieces, because right now it would be being shown.
Well, you know what? If it makes you feel any better, Chris, when I was at one point, like back when lockdown first started about a year and a half ago or so, I did a kind of like rearranging thing on this whole section over here and changed the shells and everything. And I had the big creator roller coaster, the one from a few years ago. and I tried to go take it off the shelf, and I was being really careful and moving it around. But unless you've got 3 hands, there's not really a really sturdy way to carry that thing around. And at one point, just the structural integrity just decided to collapse in on itself, and it just went whoop, and just it ended up in a big pile on the ground. And it's just like, okay. So I had to piece that thing back together. And of course, that's all just, it's nothing but girders and rails and stuff like that. So, sometimes it looks like doesn't look like it's coming or going.
Now, to my defense, Axel, I didn't share it in Old Gray Bricks. I shared it with my friends offline, not online, not to the public. No, to the private chat that is considered kind of like, Vegas, what happens in the chat stays in the chat. No.
It happens right here.
So,
when it's
I
funny.
knew better than to share it online, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not going to share this. I'll just share it with my, no. So to correct your statement, if you don't want it seen by the rest of the world, don't share it with your friends. Doesn't matter whether you put it online or not.
But the best thing about it is just, there's artistry in comedy in this. But you couldn't have put that down there more fail looking and more just defeat looking than that, and it is so funny to me.
It is.
There are comedians on SNL who have had jokes that were not as funny as that picture.
Well, the thing at the end is it's a great case study as to why things in digital designer may look amazing sometimes.
Absolutely.
But then the practicality of them building them, especially like I see some of the sets on ideas that get submitted and stuff, and it's like, oh, they definitely have not built that in real space. They've built that all digital. They have not taken into account that this is not going to sit well. The people that were upset about the blacksmith shop not looking as true to what the submission was and stuff, and it's like, you do realize that most of that was not very practical to turn into an actual Lego ship or Lego set.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, Dana, we can segue on from your failboat. Natalie wanted to show off some of your
Oh, nice.
That's amazing.
From using your anime books. So
Nice.
she just wanted to do a quick show.
Hey, Spaceman, Space Girl.
She made this for you.
Love it.
Dana just did it again. Spaceman and then Space Girl. Dana, come on.
No, because it was in blue, but it looked like a space girl in the face. So
Astronaut.
Space Explorer.
All right, good deal. So let's talk tonight with the 30 minutes we've got left. Although we're going in a journey in up there. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so tonight we want to talk about.
This is Shannon. This is Shannon's work. He made me a sticker for the Wheat Chief after I sent him a photograph, and I said, I have no skill, and Shannon is professionally trained, and so he made me this great sticker, and there it is. That's all.
Good deal.
Three years of art school and piles and piles of student debt, and that's why
That's right.
It was worth it.
Pile on the guilt. Pile on the guilt. Anyway, so tonight it has been double VIP points this week. Matt has been to the store for double VIP points day. He was kind of surprised that no one else was there for the first day of double VIP points. And so we want to talk about with our guests and everything, how do you get your Lego cheap? Is the VIP program worth all the trouble? And it's kind of gotten maybe a little less worth it because they adjusted things. Is it worth it? Is the GWPs chasing after those? Are they worth it? Or is it better to wait on discounts at Walmart and Target? And then we'll probably segue into Target's announcement today, where we can all have our fashion sense all Legoized and everything. So, and I'll start with you, Max, since you are the VIP MVP. Why is the VIP program worth it to you? Do you get it for cheap bricks, or how do you get cheap bricks?
So I spend a lot on Lego, and I try to make it spread as much as possible. And I also have a Bricklink store, so that most of what I spend on Lego doesn't come out of the general budget. So the idea is to have the Bricklink store cover as much of my addiction as possible. Last year, I actually made more money selling Lego than I spent on Lego, but that's not normal. That was a really good year of selling. But so I have a certain amount of money that I'm going to spend, and if you get the regular VIP points, it's exactly 5% back. Now you don't get it back; it's just credit to a future purchase. And so, if you spend $100, you get 6,500 points. So it's $1.6.5 points. To get $100 off a set, you need 13,000 points, right? So it works out to 5%. So if you're doing normal VIP is 5% off, double VIP is 10% off. If you're a member of a lug and you get the 4 times a year lug discount, it's 15% off, but it's only 4 times a year, and typically it's only sets that are under 100 or sometimes 120 or 150, but it's not everything. Better than that is when Target does its 20% off, which it does some semi-regularly. And as Shannon pointed out to me, if I got a red card, I'd get an extra 5%. So if you can work the red card, you can get like 24% off, which I just ordered 3 things off of Target and they're on their way here. And then Walmart, sometimes you'll get markdowns 40 to 50%. Usually the best I find is 40%. And honestly, that was my business model pre-COVID, was to hit Walmarts when they were doing their restock and blowout and buy every Star Wars set that was 40% off and wait until I could sell it for 3 times, 2-3 times what I paid for it. And that worked if you have storage space and you have the time to run to the post office and answer emails and do all the stuff you have to do when you're on a Bricklink store. But I don't expect there to be anything left over. There was hardly anything left over with COVID because, people were staying home and they were buying stuff up. And so this cycle, I went out and just bought stuff with double VIP. So this week I spent a lot of money, and only one of the sets was for me. The rest was all for my Bricklink store. So I bought the Republic gunship for me. But I bought a number of the more higher price point sets like Diagon Alley and the Cantina, sets that I might not sell for 3, 4, 5 years, but I think there'll be a strong demand for them after they retire. And with it being double VIP, and I'm buying some high price point sets, the points rack up pretty quick. So I'm in a position where if I don't spend any points, I can get the modular in January 1st completely with VIP points. And that will be for me because I like modulars and I collect them all. So, it really comes down to what you want. If you want a lower price point set, you can, sort of wait and see if Target or Walmart, puts it at 24% to 40% off. But you're almost never going to get a modular at Target. You're almost never going to get those high price point sets. It does happen once in a while. So if you want a Diagon Alley, frankly, double VIP points is probably the best discount you're going to get. But if you're willing to be patient and take some chances for clearances at Walmart or Target, you could do better than 10% off. So my advice would simply be, what is it that you want? What's the price point? What's the best possible price you're going to get for the set that you want? And it varies based on, is it something that's stocked at big box stores, or is it something that's pretty exclusive to Shop Lego or Lego brand retail stores? So I've been talking a long time, so I'll stop.
No, that's okay. And actually, when you said that, the VIP is maybe the only way to get discount on those big sets. That makes sense a little bit. That's the only way to get some discount on that. And I hadn't really considered that because I don't buy those in general. But that makes sense. But I mean, I guess, does Lego push VIP as a way to save money on Lego? I mean, I guess it's the discount club kind of thing, but in general, unless you double points, it's just 5%, right? It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How many of you?
Basically,
Good.
It's their kickback to letting them monitor your buying habits, which is what it is. They're collecting data on you, and they're giving you 5% off normally, and sometimes 10% off. I mean, that's the trade. They're tracking what you buy, and I'm sure when they look at mine, they're like, he buys everything. No. So I mean, that's the trade-off. You're giving your data to Lego, but of course, now that Lego owns Bricklink, they have even more data on me. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's worth it to them. Sure. So, all right. So you were talking. How many of you actively just go for the VIP points or dogging it and everything, and why? Or tell me your Dana, what's your reasoning?
Personally, I love when they have the double VIP points, and it's usually on like the premier friend set of that wave, because I'm usually going to buy that for my daughter. Oh, good, she's not here. For my daughter for her birthday or something, anyways. So I get to get something knocked off her Christmas or birthday list, and I get the double VIPs.
Yeah, there you go.
They had
Right,
it on
right.
like $100 Andrea's house set. I think they had it on. Was it the mall or the pool? The pool, like a splash pad. I don't know, but they're usually a $100 set in Friends. They seem to always have double VIP points on it. That set exclusively, like once or twice a year. So I enjoy that.
I got you.
Do you think
I got
that's because they don't sell as well, or like because
It
it's
may
never
be.
good? I won't say it's never good sets, but it's never the sets that are in demand, right? Like that's what I always
Yeah,
find.
it's
Yeah, if you
it's
see the-
an
if you
expensive
see the
one,
calendar,
which-
Yeah, I mean, if you see the calendar, and that's what that Mayor's talking about, the back of the calendar will say this is the monthly 1 or 2 sets that are double VIP points outside of normal double VIP point time. They are typically the sets that are not selling. If you recall that failed Star Wars AT-AT with the head blown off from The Force Awakens, yeah, they couldn't get rid of that thing because and it showed up on that double VIP points right away.
Oh, the
So that's what
ATST
happened.
was yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to say last January it was Andrea's house, which
was weird.
Which is weird because it had a ton of aqua.
Yeah.
It had a ton of turquoise. It had the brand new circular or quarter circular window holding. It had a ton of new parts. So that was really interesting. I don't know why, but then I think they had it as well on the it wasn't the splash pad. It was like the water park. But it's typically they'll have it on a Friends set that's over $100, which again, I get it. That might not be the huge mover of the Friends wave. I'm sure they move the $20 to $40 Friends sets more. But she always wants that premiere set, and it's an opportunity for me to buy it when it's double points and keep it and give it to her for Christmas or for her birthday.
And you get a little kickback. So
yeah.
By the way, in the I don't know if we talked about this. Did anybody notice that when Lego's last report, they talked about their top performing lines?
Friends wasn't on there.
Not on there. Did y'all notice that?
Mm-hmm.
It is emphasizing how the 18 plus line is doing so well. And I don't know if it knocked Friends off or they're making a high profit margin off of those 18 plus sets.
Yeah,
I'm sure. But the Friends set wasn't listed as one of their shiny things, and I don't know. I'm not sure why that is. Because I really haven't noticed it slowing down. Although there have been certain, and I know dots and Friends are not the same. There have been some dot sets in bulk that have been like super cheap for me to grab at Michael's and Target of late. So I don't know if that means anything.
I almost wonder if it's because the 18 plus sets are at such a high dollar value that's how Friends got knocked off the list. That would be my guess. Yeah,
I don't know.
But kind of to piggyback and kind of reiterate some of the stuff that Matthew was saying, and the GWPs and VIP points, or double VIP points when you get the chance, or getting, I know Chris, you typically will shop at Walmart and Target for Lego because it's closer.
Yeah,
it's closer for you. And ironically, in Lego's announcement today for a follow-up topic, Target's the most popular place to buy Lego outside of Shop at Home and the Lego store. That's their top place for selling of Lego. So not surprising there. As Matthew said, extra $5 for your red card, and then if they do a sale or something like that, that same this last week the Harry Potter Big Fig buildable figures, they for whatever reason clearance that or did a 50% off. And then on top of it, I had like $20 in like a $20 coupon for or like I don't know what it was, but my app said, "Hey, here's another $20 off." I got that set for $40 after shipping.
Wow, nice.
I mean, so Target, yeah, definitely think. But VIP points, is it worth it? It's 5% off if you think about it, because I mean, I think the equation still works out that the VIP points that you spend gives you basically about $5 off So if it's double VIP points, you're maybe making it up to $10 off or 10%. I'm not dollars, percent off. So 5 and 10% off. Your red card's already giving you 5%. Heck,
There you
Barnes and Noble gives you 10% off, and they'll even put that 10% on top of clearance sale. I needed a troll set for reasons, and it was 25% off, and then another 10% off. I got it. It was like a $35 set I got for $20.
Barnes
But it was
Noble's
also
done good for me
trolls.
lately. I mean, that's the last couple of times that they've done the CMFs. A group of us have gone in and gotten a case of CMFs, and Barnes and Noble has pulled through on me because they'll do 10% off of that, and so that basically saves off a whole case of that, and that's really well. And it's not a seasonal thing. There's just all the time. As long as you got a Barnes and Noble membership, that 10% is good off at any time.
Yeah, which is, I mean, they'll say they'll have coupons at Barnes and Noble that will have Lego excluded, but being a member, you automatically get the 10%. So actually going to a Barnes and Noble is better than even doing double VIP points.
Now, is the Barnes and Noble thing, is that a pay per year membership, or is it a?
Used to be, but I don't recall having paid for it in a long, long time. So
They're just taking it out when you're out looking.
they might be. I don't know. And they might just tack it onto my receipt, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, whatever.
I have to admit, I have a Jeff Bezos credit card, so I help send him to space. But
Yeah.
every once in
You
a
put Jack
while,
in space.
when I pay my credit card and I see my Amazon points come in, and I'm just like, and there's an Amazon markdown on Lego, I'm like,
Yeah, that's worth it.
please, Jeff.
But isn't intense? Can we get a clarification on intense?
Intense. It's intense.
It's intense. All right. Yeah, you can get markdown sets if they've got them. They'll either give you, but see, the thing is they will either do one or two things depending on the store, the manager, or whatever the policy is. They will either mark off 10 or 15%, or they'll give you additional VIP points. So it depends on what they're doing. Like when a brand new set comes out, like the space shuttle I got up there, I got like a good chunk of extra VIP.
Not Shatner. Not Shatner.
Not Jagger, but yeah.
I hate it, but man, getting 5% off your groceries delivered from Amazon and 5% off all of the crap we buy from Amazon, it
It
saves
makes sense.
a lot of money.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing with with again, Target. If it wasn't for the fact that there are certain things I can get at the Lego store, I would probably buy more of my stuff exclusively at Target because you're automatically getting 5%. If I go in there and it's like, buy 3 things of detergent and fabric softener and get $10 in a Target gift card, that's Lego spending money because the wife doesn't know, and I'm just going to use that for Lego.
And,
So, I mean,
the other thing about Target is they do have some of the high price point sets.
They
Yeah,
do.
They will have
Online.
some of those
No,
$200 sets.
they would have them. They originally started them online, but then now they start to show up in the store. I've seen the Mustang. I've seen all
I had
sorts
the
of.
Ghostbusters.
I saw
Yeah.
the Adidas shoes set at the Target just yesterday.
Yeah.
I bought the Harry Potter mosaic, and my thumbs regret it, but that was like $109 at
Right.
Target.
Yeah, and they've even had some of their mosaics down to $100 or even $80, depending on what sale they're running. As far as getting good pieces, that Target's a place to go for, and they're usually better stocked than Walmart.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, the pick-a-brick, that's definitely a go to the store. That's
what
usually what I wind up doing on A-fold day or double VIP points is I go in for pick-a-brick.
Yeah.
That's usually what gets me is most of the stuff, if I can get it at Target, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, any of those places, and the discount gets me more, I usually go there. I go to the Lego store for pick-a-brick, build a minifigure, brand new exclusive sets like the modular or anything like that. That's going to be it's going to be a limited release. It's going to be to their store only for at least for the foreseeable future.
Right.
And and double VIP points. So that's why that's where I'm kind of willing to make the effort to go up there to Lego store and buy there and get the VIP points and stuff like that for that, or if they've got a really great gift with purchase that I want.
And that right there,
the gift.
yeah, gift with purchase.
I probably sell 75% of the GWPs in my brick store, and I only keep about 1 out of 4. When I bought the Coliseum, I sold the Chariot set, which had no exclusive pieces, for like $70, $60-$70.
Yep.
Well, that's like getting an additional like 15% off the entire set. Yeah. So if you don't mind, so for example, when they had like a couple of the little small Star Wars sets that came out, you had to spend $100 for, you could turn around and flip that thing for $40 to $50 to $60, depending on what it's going for in Bricklink. So that's the other kind of rebate. If you go to a Lego brand store or you get off Shop Lego, you can get gift with purchase that if you don't want, you can flip for more savings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
It's Emily at the Sugarloaf store and her Instagram posts on the Pick a Brick wall. It's like she's my drug dealer.
Oh, totally. Totally. No, she has a good, strong following in this area just for that alone, because she's hot to put up what new pieces come in. But as far as
for me is I have to get a middleman because I don't live close enough. So I have to go, Emily just posted, I need a cup of these. And now I find out that cup for me is Spike. It's not real. It didn't come from the Lego store. It came out of his collection.
They have the mariachi band now. Brian went to get the mariachi band like 2 weeks ago, and they're like, we don't have mariachi.
They just got them this week.
These are for Mark Sanklin.
I'm actually going tomorrow. I'm going to North Point tomorrow at noon to meet up with Bricker Built to drop this off, and also Druce from our club to pick up some contraband. Hint, hint. There may be some counting and sorting involved soon. Just saying. But GWPs. To me, that is again one of the reasons to definitely go into the Lego store. That is normally like, if there's a reason for me to go in and pick up a new set, it's really because of the GWP at the Lego store. Because again, like Matthew's saying, turn around and flip it or sell it, or it might be something that I actually really want. And so I think works.
I usually hold on to them and I trade them at Brick Fair or something like that, or for other things that I want. And then I don't feel so guilty if I want to trade for something that I really want that's exorbitantly expensive.
I unfortunately don't do what Matthew does, which he flips his GWPs like literally within the first week of.
I have posted on Bricklink from the parking lot.
Right, exactly, and he flips those quickly, and he usually gets the good dollar value for that. I, on the other hand, am lazy, and I have not been throwing it up. Jeff, are you waving goodbye, or are you?
I'm waving goodbye. I go put my munchkin to bed.
You're waving goodbye.
Good night.
See you all next week.
See you next week. I'm lazy about listing my GWPs, and I have probably a whole bunch of clearance sets and stuff like that I could list, and I'm holding on to them because I'm doing the other thing that Matthew does, is sit on them for 5 years or more and watch the secondhand value on those go up, because that's also, if you've got the space to store things, getting sets on
Let me
clearance.
just tell you.
Yeah,
that's that Extra Slave 1 that I encouraged you to buy. Keep hanging on to that baby.
Oh yeah. No. I definitely, that was one of those ones where I explained to the wife I could get this for 50% off because someone was leaving the store, and she's like, "Well, yeah, and you're gonna hold on to that and sell it, right?" I'm like, yeah. So I mean, even if I sold it for retail value, it's 50% that I make in profit, but now it's probably 4 or 5 times more than that. Yeah. So
you'll be able to sell it for 4 times. Yeah, I think so.
All right. So anybody else want to talk about the methods? I buy as clearance on Walmart. That is my main source of buying Lego cheap or all that kind of stuff. I've started, and I'll share, maybe we have time later, that sometimes I'll hit a really good score at Second and Charles on the pick bin. I have gotten monorail track that way from the pick bin at Second and Charles, which was amazing. And let's just say I got minifigs out of it, which is unusual this week, which is an amazing thing, especially if I turn this around. And usually if I turn that around, I'm taking it to Atlanta Brick Company and just swapping it for bricks and do okay. But anyway, anybody else want to share? Jeff, how do you get your cheap bricks, man? Either Jeff.
I literally just got 3 huge tubs of cheap brick from Dave Cowdice, who just lent them to me. But that's beside the point. I mean,
His house just oozes them. You just go scoop them in the yard.
Yeah, well,
Can we all go over to Dave's house?
Well, no, because they're all here. They're all in here right now. So, or at least most of them. But from my point of view, I mean, I don't live near a Lego store, so we don't have Targets here. I don't even have Toys R Us local to me. I mean, some other Canadians do have Toys R Us near them. Deal with it. But you know, for me, it's Walmart's mainly around here, and online shopping from Amazon, things like that. I don't have credit cards for like Amazon to get 5% off or anything. But so I do a lot of my shopping on Shop at Home. But I end up using most of my VIP points on bulk brick, like ordering off of Bricks and Pieces.
Yeah.
Or the Pick a Brick online, which I just did the other day. You know,
Oh,
spend
you know,
$100, but basically don't have to pay anything because I use my VIP points for it.
Hey, Jeff, you brought up a good point. Pick a Brick online versus Bricks and Pieces online. And I
Yeah.
got talking to Chris Campbell about this one time because I was ordering some pieces for something. And a lot of, if you go into the Pick a Brick online, it seems like the prices are usually more expensive than Bricks and Pieces. But that's not always true.
Yeah.
You got to
always
do a
check both.
comparison. You got to
Yeah,
check both.
I bought 1x10 gray plates, and I think they were half the price on the Pick a Brick versus the Bricks
Yep.
and Pieces.
Really?
Yeah.
And the other
So-
thing that I didn't realize originally is that because Bricks and Pieces will only let you order a maximum of 200,
100. Yeah.
but Pick a Brick will let you order up to 999.
Mhm.
Nice.
So again, it depending on what you're doing, you got to figure your price and your shipping, because even I know we all know that Bricks and Pieces the shipping's what, like $3.29, something
Yeah.
something silly like that. But if you need large quantity, it might be more beneficial to get Pick a Brick because you're only doing one order. Even though so you got to figure out your pricing, your price of
gotta
shipping
check
versus
both,
price
yeah.
of parts, and do that calculation to get the biggest bang for your buck.
And with Pick a Brick, when I did that order at Pick a Brick, I ordered a few sets as well, so shipping was covered. It was free shipping at that point.
Exactly. That
That doesn't happen with Bricks and Pieces though. Like Bricks
Well,
and Pieces,
actually,
you have this.
I
No,
There's
I've never-
there's a cheat.
there's
you
a
have to buy a
cheat.
$3 poly bag, and basically the poly bag gets you into free shipping.
I've tried
Nope.
that and it didn't work here.
No, you gotta buy something that gives you free shipping, and it'll still work for Bricks and Pieces.
Okay.
You can at least buy a $35 set, and then you'll get the free shipping for the
Yeah.
Okay.
If
I'll have
it's
to try
in the
that.
set, I'll go online and order it from the store. If it's like pieces and parts, my first go-to is this place called Toy Base 10. Dude literally doesn't charge me anything for any of his bulk Lego. So it's just a simple go in, scoop up. What do you want for this? I don't care, Jeff. $5. So
That's awesome.
do that.
That's awesome.
And
But you
then,
deal with him for other stuff too, right? Like,
yeah, I sold him
So-
an initial run of Captain America's for a pretty good price. So like,
Mhm.
I've made him a large amount of money. So like, I kind of a special relationship. I don't really pay full price for anything in that store.
You got a guy at this point in time, man.
I do.
You got a guy, which is
But,
always good to have.
yes.
Always good to have. I got a guy.
But if it's like when the Tumbler came out, this one, not the other ones.
Yeah. Got to get that one.
Yeah, I wanted to get it from the Lego store simply because it's stupid. People still recognize me from the quarantine cast, and like, feeling a little low, and like somebody would be like, "Hey, aren't you from the quarantine cast?" And it's kind of fun. So
Always fun. Always fun.
Somebody wants to know where that is located.
Someplace in Oklahoma.
VW, do you guys have Costco's up there? Because down here, Costco's increasingly getting pallets of Lego. Again, you don't have. There's the selection is pretty limited, but they're basically 20% off. And I picked up a
25.
couple sets.
25.
25?
The
25?
3-in-1
that's-
castles were 25% off.
Okay, so that's basically the same as Target with a red card discount. I picked up a couple sets, and then I got home and I thought, you know what? I don't really want these sets that much. I took them back and returned them.
You also
'Cause I
pay for
went
that
to Lego
Costco
store-
membership.
Yeah,
You do, but if you've already
Oh.
got it for whatever else you're
Yeah.
buying,
Yeah. So
You know,
I mean,
I get it for tires.
I had a Costco membership because I used to get the gas there. Like we do have one in my town. But because I'm not driving, like when COVID started, I discontinued the membership. And honestly, that's one of the places I don't want to walk into with COVID going on because it's always busy, right? I mean, it's better now. It's just I haven't switched that mindset, but I also don't have the membership now, so I'm not going to walk in. I mean, I do order, like I ordered the Land Rover Defender Technic set off of Costco online, which you don't need membership for, and it was $50 off there.
Yeah.
Like that was their regular price. So the online has it, but I mean, yes, I'm kicking myself that I didn't go in and get the medieval castle because I do really want it. But you know, it's just for me, it would be I'd have to buy the membership first, so I'm already kicking out $65, and then buy the castles. So I mean, right now it doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
Intense. We have the castle in Atlanta area.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I saw them pretty good at mine. I mean, there's at least a good pallet of them between that and the Friends Hotel, which I also bought for parts, but they're now all gone. I mean, it was amazing. I was going to bring this up as far as talking Costco. When I went in 2 weeks ago and I made the joke about it keeps me out of the bar, there was an entire pallet of advent calendars for Marvel and Star Wars. I went back on Monday. They were all gone. There was like 3 or 4 of the Marvel ones, and that's it.
Toy-Based Ten is in Edmond near the fairgrounds in Oklahoma City. So like, I can't remember the street it's on, but it's right near OSU, across from the fairgrounds. That's about it. Like near Lawton.
And Internet, we're up here in North Atlanta, North Georgia. So Cumming, Alpharetta, Lawrenceville, that area is where we've seen them. They're probably gone by now. It's hard.
I went to a Costco today, and it is always like the zombie apocalypse is happening, and people are stocking up at Costco every day. But they had a bunch of Grogu, and that was it. They didn't have the castle, so I didn't see it.
Oh, the Grogu's in mine came and went. I think I'm down to like the new Jeep set, the Jeep Technic set, and a couple of it was something else, but it was slim pickings already.
So they had like 3 packs of them.
Yeah.
When I returned my castle, I'm going to make a couple of you sick, I can already tell, but I returned the castle, and when I went to the desk, they said, "Oh, we have to call in because we never sold this at this store. You bought this in Alpharetta," which is over where Dana lives. And he said, each store gets a different amount based on what sold last time. And Alpharetta Cumming was like a hot spot. So, you know, if you live in Dana's, you know, fancy schmancy neighborhood with all the
it's because I live close to a hospital. That's the only logic I can think about.
Hospital and all the tech people. You got a lot of IT people.
There are a lot of IT people in this area. There
are a lot of IT people that live up on that north side.
Yeah.
And they spend a lot on Lego. Because I know I used to work at North Point. They would bring their kids in and buy a lot of Lego.
Yeah.
So your stores get more than some of the other stores in the metro. And so it does make an impact. Not all Costco's get the same sets, and the store confirmed that.
Which is driving me nuts because I see people in some other areas of the country that like got the Slave Ones that were in Costco at 20% off the recent one, and they've gotten the Mandalorian Starfighter in there as well, and I'm like, what? So yeah, it varies. I mean, it varies Costco to Costco which sets they even get, which is frustrating.
All right. Well, let me just say another place that I've been getting cheap Lego, and it is always a hit and miss and everything. There are stores in Tennessee like McKay's, and down here there is Second and Charles, and I hit the pick bin there a lot. Francine in our club, she lives nearby there, and I've seen her there, and she's picking through, and she's like, "I don't know what this is," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's a great piece. You can have it because I want it, right?" So, but I hit a really good deal. It's like $1 an ounce or whatever there from the Pick a Brick. But this week, I think it's a function of they don't have enough help to sort out the stuff that people are bringing in. They just dumped a bin in that had minifigs in it, which they usually pull out. And then they were about to dump another one, and the guy stopped it, and he searched through it himself, and he filled up like 3 bags worth of Simpsons and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings minifigs that I couldn't get. but I paid $25 for these 3 bags right here. So that's a good bit of Lego, and I've got parts, but here are the figs I pulled out so far. I've got a lot of Simpsons. I got a lot of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
A lot of Simpsons and everything. And I've got some parts that have come out of here that I basically have already paid for the bag, just one part, some rare parts and everything. So I would not. Yes, you can get. I do hose down before and after going in there. But I mean, basically, had I sat there and wanted to, I could have pulled out the entire Quickie Mart from The Simpsons out of that pile of Lego, which I did not. I did get the piece with the sticker of Mole Man or the Old Man Frozen in it because that's hilarious, right? But if you can get there before it gets rambled through, if you can even talk to the guy in the back and say, "Hey, can I see a bin before you pour it out?" and they don't give you lip about it, you can get some stuff before it's all scratched up, unless the kid who owned it scratched it up. So it's become a great source for me to find really specialized parts. It's also a way for me to find greebly bits that I don't care if they're a little scratched up, to stock up on certain parts I use a lot, and it's pretty darn cheap. So
I had a question though. I mean, because is that a thing where people take just loose bulk Lego to Second and Charles? What do they give you for that?
I don't know. Apparently, it's not very much because they're not selling it for very much. Now,
Right.
They usually make their profit by pulling the figs out, which is really weird about what I found. I mean, I've got $100 of figs maybe sitting right here or more that is quadruple what I paid for what I put in. And honestly, I probably will take this to ABC and trade it, and then I can buy what I want from to ABC.
Which is a
probably
great,
more from their big bin.
yeah, which is great, yeah.
Right. But it's something you can do. I mean, when I went to McKay's, the one time I went up there, I pulled the entire Batman shuttle set basically out of that bin in pieces, and then I've used the pieces and stuff like that. But do not discount used Lego stores. I think Dave Cowdice, he hits those a lot, right?
Yeah,
Well, no, I think he hits doesn't he hit like Goodwill type stores?
Yeah, it's a store called Value Village here, and it's just everybody returns sends their junk there, and I'm guessing they have a couple of bins of Lego in the back that they just keep on refilling, and then they just bag 10 bags and put them up on the shelf type thing.
Which means that a reseller hasn't found that, and that's why Dave is lucky.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're at my store too, but I mean, they're literally basic brick and some Mega Block and just a mixed bag of stuff.
Yeah.
Dave, I think he just had a horseshoe implanted at some point in his life, and every time he walks in, or what seems like every time he goes in, or he goes in 7 times a week, I don't know.
It is insane though, the amount of times I see him post.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, I looked at Facebook Marketplace in his area, and it's like 3 times the amount of stuff being listed for Lego than what I have in my area, because he's in a bigger city for sure, and he's in the GTA area, the Greater Toronto area, so within an hour he can get a lot more Lego than I ever will.
All I can do is 50 cents. Not 50 cents on the pound, just 50 cents for the whole 50.
That's right.
One quick thing before I forget, because I was scrambling to do a bunch of stuff before I came on tonight, is that I stopped into my beloved cherished place that I get discount Lego is my Kroger, my grocery store that is local to my house. Matthew, stay away from my Kroger. So every so often they will clearance, or they will just throw a set on discount for whatever. Walked in there tonight. This Captain America set it even says on the sticker 30% off. I'm like, I'll grab a couple of those for 30% off. Who's going to turn down 30% off Lego at your grocery store? So I don't know if your grocery store. Not everybody's grocery store has a toy section, but if it does, it's another good place to look into things and seeing what they got available. So
only in areas where people are wealthy enough to need to buy the love of their kid when they go grocery shopping. So.
Bringing that up, I need to mention too, another good place to keep your eyes open for, and y'all had experience with this, is TJ Maxx / Home Goods / Marshalls. Just yesterday, I got the previous firefighter station for 30% off, and one of those generic creator bucket sets for 35% off. And I wasn't really expecting to find those. And then of course we found those storage brick set, and the Halloween storage heads in some of their stores too.
I've only been lucky to see the big storage bricks and the storage heads. I've never actually found a set at
Oh, I
TJ
was
Maxx.
surprised by this too. This is like the first time I found a Lego set in a long time.
That's amazing. I hope, fingers crossed that starts to happen more. So time will tell. 30% off.
I
Yeah.
probably won't build it as a set, but it's good parts, or I might flip it and do whatever. So I mean, it's good. I can't really pass it off whenever it's 35% off and you weren't really expecting it.
Absolutely.
I have to say though that Dana's Kroger is literally the only Kroger I've ever been to that has not like one side of a toy aisle, but like a double-sided toy aisle. Like
No, it's
a for real
three
toy
sides.
aisle.
It's three sides. It's
Three
one
sides.
full aisle, and then the second aisle over is a half of it, and they've got at least.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, I was amazed when I walked into because this was like a brand new Kroger. I mean, I don't know if I've talked about it. It's got a clothing section. It's
Mega Kroger.
It's a mega Kroger. It's got a wine and beer tasting section that you can buy a beer or a glass of wine and sit while you're waiting for your sushi to get prepared. If it had like a little area for a nap, it'd be a vacation destination. That's all I'm saying.
You have to wear a jacket if you go in there.
Luckily, it's not dress code required.
Oh, what a great segue to then segue over, since you mentioned dress and clothing. This really quick because we are over our time, but we do want to talk about this, especially since Shannon is, I'm sure, excited about it. Target has announced today that it's funny. All of a sudden, everybody's like, "Did you see what Target did? What Target did?" I'm like, "What's on sale? Nothing." They just talked about that they are going to be the exclusive retailer for a line of Lego clothing and all this kind of stuff. I guess maybe the Adidas thing. Oh, we lost Jeff. Maybe the Adidas thing made enough money, the shoes and the clothing and the Levi's thing. I mean, Lego has done clothes before, but Target is getting this big line. So what do you guys think about it?
Well, so first and foremost, and Shannon, I'm sorry. I think the fact that they're partnering with Target with this is fantastic because they have a large good clothing section. It's on par with your Kohl's and your other stores, and for that price range, which is again a little bit above like your Walmart type scenario. So I think you're getting good quality stuff. On top of that, the clothing that Lego has done in the past has been subpar, sometimes only available in Japan or certain places in Europe, and the sizing is all weird for Americans because we're big, and it just never really quite works. Or it's kitschy. It's like Russian is catching up with us. They're 20 years behind us in the fads and trends. So it looks like it's from the 90s or 80s when we could have some more stylized stuff from current. I think Target's going to make that a little more fashionable and current versus something that was trendy 20 years ago. I'm excited. I mean, I know some of the stuff that they showed in the video didn't look too exciting, but they said in the article that there were 300 items that they're going to be producing. So that means that there's going to be just a slew of stuff that might be a good variety. The t-shirt looked kind of cool that I saw. I'm a t-shirt whore, so that's kind of a natural thing for me. And the fact that I saw a pink astronaut plushie, which means you can only hope. I said astronaut, which could only mean that we might see other colors other than just bright pink. So,
I think one of the pictures I saw, there was more than one color. There was more than just the pink. I think it was a blue one. So if I remember correctly,
I'm holding out for bright purple.
From your mouth
Lavender.
to Target's ears, please.
Hey,
Lavender.
Dana, you could go around Brick Fair and you could have your Benny suit and give away little baby Bennies to everybody or whatever, you know.
I don't think I'd be giving those away. I'd be ordering them like
give me a picture of that, and I'll go ahead and I'll get the "Don't ever talk to me or my son again" meme going for you.
Are they adult line of clothing or?
It's all
both.
Okay.
They showed a dog sweater. There's bags. There's all sorts of different things. Okay, so I'll jump in here. So yeah, Lego's been testing the waters with this for a few years now. As Dana mentioned, they were really limited several years ago. They were with a company called Uniqlo, which is based out of Japan, I believe.
Yep.
They were doing lines, targeted towards the kids. They were doing Ninjago. I think they might be doing not Friends, but like Pink and stuff for girls. Then of course, like last year they did Levi's, and then they partnered with Adidas, and those are some great things. I have a few of the Adidas shoes myself, and I think I got the fanny pack and some of the other things and stuff too from Levi's. I'm really excited about this because as long as the quality is good, this is making it more accessible for everybody. Because I will be honest, the Adidas stuff has been hard to get. The Levi's stuff has been kind of sparse to find, and it's kind of pricey. I mean, when you're looking at just a Lego sweatshirt that doesn't even have buildable stuff on it, and they're wanting like $150 for a sweatshirt,
yeah,
that's a little out there for the actual average Lego collector. Target doing this, I'm hoping they source good materials, they do good manufacturing and stuff. This will be more widely available. You'll be able to get it online. You'll be able to have it shipped home. I'm assuming with it being 300 pieces, it's going to be unrealistic that it'll all be in store. It'll probably be a lot of it will be online exclusive stuff. But the puffer coat was really cute. The bags are cute. I think they could have done a little bit something different with the pajama set, because I think that's kind of maybe a little bit off to the fringe there, but there's some really great stuff in there, and I think it's gonna, I'm interested to see what kind of housewares and stuff like that they have, because they did show some plastic cups that kind of look quasi like the classic Lego cup and stuff. So,
chaps. And of course, when he
There's a
says
market.
chaps, when he says chaps, he means assless chaps. Just in case you
All
weren't
chaps
aware of what he was
are assless.
talking about. We're after 9 o'clock. I can say assless chaps.
The blue sweater with the Lego brick looking thing, that looked pretty cool. But I wonder if I can talk my wife into us doing a family, pajama picture at Christmas and Lego things.
Especially if you can get Bo a sweater. If you can get Bo a sweater, you got to do it. You got to do it.
That would be amazing. So I mean that does seem like a higher quality, much lower price point and wider availability. I mean, I will say back in the early 2000s or somewhere, it was I got excited because I found a couple of 2X, because that was the size I was wearing. I went up for 3X for a while, but I'm not there anymore. But the 2X, there were Lego shirts. One is just a plain red shirt with yellow bricks on it. It's a great looking shirt, but when I put it on, it's like a midriff cut, I'm like the beer belly hanging out kind of thing. I was like, oh, I can't wear that, man. I love that shirt. I wore it during chemo because like, hey, I'm down a few pounds. I'll throw that baby on. So, and I got a cool white one that's got, color stripes and the Lego logo here. And it is short. It was a really odd cut, because.
Sorry, Moto.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so they were oddly cut, and it's like, why? This is not even a 2X. It is this way, but it's not this way, right? So
and the thing, and to see what I'm hoping for, and Matthew knows about this, and we talked to Mark Erickson about this, that the T-shirts that Lego produced for the kids club and the building in the stores were awesome. They had great graphics. They were awesome, especially all the Star Wars shirts. And they were only in kid sizes, except for like 1 or 2 for the people who were working the event. And Matthew got those. If Lego does give Target graphics for the type of stuff that they do in-house, see right there. I mean, I'd have bought that shirt from Target, and I hope that's the kind of stuff that they do, is that we start to see, some of the themes done in T-shirts and available for all sizes in the Target stores or Target online. I can only hope. My wife is going to cringe, but I can only hope.
Adidas has had some. Adidas, they had the shoes and stuff for the kids, and then they had some fitness wear for the adults, but the fitness stuff was much more stylized or
trendy.
Where the kids stuff, like some of the girl stuff, they actually did it with some of the dots, the rainbow dots stuff. Is like, that's the stuff I wish they'd had in adult sizes. That would have been stuff that I would have bought T-shirt wise and stuff, but they didn't. They did it targeted towards kids.
I'm hoping that, because Target has the graphic tee section just like Kohl's does and some of the other stores, and those sections sell well. Every year Star Wars does 2 Star Wars holiday shirts, and it's become like a tradition now that I've got to get them. And that means that somebody in Target marketing and Target brand retail or whatever realizes, hey, this is something that people want. This is something that sells. So I'm hoping that same thing carries over into the Lego brand, and that they've put out these graphic tees and cool looking shirts and products and polos and maybe hats or something like that, because it's an American company marketing towards American buyers versus a European company that's typically 10 to 20 years behind fashion trends for Americans. So I'm hoping that will bode true for this. Time will tell.
I think it will. I think it will. So yeah, I'm excited by it. I'm all for it. Yeah, I think Christmas pictures with matching Lego sweaters is now a life goal for us.
Well, they're supposed to come out in December, I think. Isn't that what time frame I think the article said?
Yeah, that's my one concern though, is because with this whole thing with retail shipping and stuff and in selling thing, is I'm hoping that they say early December, but if we're looking at shipping coming over from there, unless they've already got it here on the in the United States, there's a potential that it could not show up until later December or even after Christmas, and I think they're really going to miss the boat if it doesn't come in until after.
It depends on who's producing the material, the products. Because Target is a U.S. based company, so one would assume that they're producing and having things and running on Target's shipping schedule and everything like that. And because Target, I mean, they're known for having stuff on time and ready and ahead of time, because that's how they do business, and they do business well. Target wouldn't be where Target is today.
That's out of their hands, because I mean, I collect Transformers, and there's been issues with Transformers coming in, and a lot of that stuff has gotten pushed back into lead because it's coming from Japan.
That's not Target. That's not Target.
Target might be partnering with Lego here, but they're unless they're actually manufacturing in their factories.
And that's going to be the question, because if you're ordering stuff from Hasbro or Kenner or whatever toy company, you're at the mercy of them. But if you're the one who's licensing and making manufacturing, then you have a little more control over. So hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, but have you seen the Lego aisle at Target lately? It is rifled and empty at mine.
Well,
they just got through a big sale last week though too. They had like half their stuff was almost at least I think it was either one of their buy $50 worth and get a $10 gift card, or it was the 20% off of like a bunch of sets, and they were themes that weren't normally go on sale, like Friends and Harry Potter and stuff like that doesn't go on sale as frequently.
And my Target,
I was in my Target a week ago, and it was pretty stocked. I mean, come over to Lawrenceville.
I mean, I went through it was a pretty sparse period for a little bit, but it's been restocked again, and they've been replenishing a lot quicker than my Walmart. My Walmart still has tumbleweeds from last Christmas floating in there. It's weird.
Yeah, I understand that.
And speaking of stock, I went to both of our Atlanta Lego stores the weekend before Double Points just to see which expensive sets were in stock. And I have to tip my hat and say that Lego has fought to get stuff on shelf, but virtually every big expensive set was available, including the Republic gunship, which has been out of stock most of the time.
Greg, don't quote me. Don't quote me.
Gil, I'm going to copy and paste this into Eurobrick form.
Great. Now I'm going to start getting a whole bunch of hate mail.
It has been a long time since I've even been to Eurobricks. It's funny how that has shifted. That used to be the place to go find some extra news. Now I don't. So
well, social media. It's because of the rise of social media.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I had to fill out. I know we're over. We're like over. Yeah. There was a third quarter.
Well, Gil's still listening.
third quarter Lego Ambassador Network survey. And one of my comments was, about I find less reasons to go to the LAN for things because I find out about things on social media quicker than I find out about the LAN. And usually it's the LAN is most of, a lot of people bickering and complaining, not beneficial information. And social media, I mean, we find out about new things from Lego on social media much faster, even when it's official, even if it's not a leak. Just official news, we find it on social media quicker than anywhere else.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where that picture of those minifigs, the space minifigs, came from, but I hope that's a real I'm not going to show it on here, but I was excited by that. But I mean, all that's getting leaked out, not through the old forums and other things like that. It's
and it's gotten to the point now where, I mean, all it takes is some Yahoo in Japan who doesn't realize that, oh, we're not supposed to post this yet on an official catalog or whatever, and boom, it's in the public domain and people are grabbing it and posting and linking and this and that. And most of these people who are posting leaks, they're not fan media or registered Lego media people. They're just doing whatever and grabbing from whatever, and that's going to continue no matter what. And I get the whole reason for the leak policies, and we abide by it within the lug and in our social media, and I get the reason behind it because it's intellectual property that a knockoff company could turn around and say, hey, we can crank this out quicker because we found out about it quicker. But it is. I mean, we live in a technology age. Information is at our fingertips.
Still free advertising.
We're living in the age of the influencers, and everybody wants to be internet famous, and everybody wants to be they see the privilege of, well, if you become reputable as a Lego source, then you'll start getting sets and you'll get free product and stuff like that, because if you blip on their radar. So everybody wants to be that thing, and they think, well, the way to do that is to be the first one who gets the hits, and you get the hits, they want to be the first one to link the things, and they don't understand, well, there's blackouts, and the people that are already established and reputable have a blackout window, and they're not sharing it on purpose. They know about it. They know, they likely have seen all that stuff. They may even already have the set in hands, as we're seeing with some of those, like the Mario question mark cube. Some of the people, the big people, already had the cube in hands the day that it dropped,
Right.
And they have to, so it's all about that. Well, I got to leak this first. And even though I do appreciate that, comes with that is also the earlier we get that stuff, then we have the whole, well, is it reputable? Or, oh, I hate it already because it hasn't been released by Lego and the statement's been connected with it saying, hey, this is our story and this is what we're coming with. And this is what our thought process is behind it. People are instantly like, well, I can't believe Lego's releasing this and they're getting political now. And why do they have to do these things that are social movements and all this other stuff? And it's like, or I hated it. It's, the designers don't know what they're doing. It's like the designers have been working on this for probably 2 years now. I think they put a lot of thought process into what they're doing here. They might miss sometimes saying like with video or something like that, but they're not just doing it on a whim. They're not just sitting here saying, hey, give me something in 2 weeks and we'll put it on there and say, this is what we've got. They're getting paid money to do this job thoroughly. Yeah. So, and the fact that some people are just instantly with the hate of, well, I don't like this thing. And it's like, well, not everything has to be for you. This was meant for kids, or this was meant for a certain demographic of people that collect Legos, but don't necessarily feel like they're hitting something that they appreciate yet. And so, I see the value in all Lego, even if I don't necessarily want it myself. I can kind of sit there and say, hey, that's neat. I don't necessarily want it. I've got a whole room full of Lego that keeps me happy. I'm sure in 2 weeks they're going to come out with something that's going to say, wow, I really want that.
Right. As I told someone recently, there is no such thing as the perfect Lego set, because everybody's got their own desires, their own wants. Some things are good, some things are bad, some things are meh, some things are like, oh my god, I got to have it first day.
Why are you?
I got to have multiple copies of it. But
why do you hate the Galaxy Explorer right now?
Well, it's amazing if you said that. You don't even know me if you said that.
Hey, by the way, talking about social media empire, I almost have 6,000 followers on the TikTok. So thank you very much.
On the TikTok. On the old man saying the TikTok.
It's amazing to me what people get excited about sometimes Lego-wise that I have no interest in. I know Harry Potter is a big thing, and I just don't care about Harry Potter personally. But all the Technic cars, and I know people get really excited about the Technic sets, and I admire the skill that went into designing, because they are so intolerant. If you get a little off, you're up the creek. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. But I have no desire to build Technic, but there are people who are very passionate about it, and I've got my own niches, and I love my modulars, and I love my spaceships. I love dots, so I mean, it's just different things for different folks,
Yeah. All right.
Exactly.
Chris is going to write a song.
That's right.
I deserve a writing credit.
Can I spoil the GIF? Can I spoil it, Dana, or do you want to hold it till a later time?
Did you get the second one?
Oh, did you send me a second one?
I sent you a second one. It's a smaller size.
Okay. Well, I've got it pulled up in a win. I'm just going to share the screen.
If you want to
'cause I
share
gotta-
it's fantastic. This is gonna.
If you have not, by the way, if you do get a social media, if you don't follow Atlanta Brick Company's weekly stuff, it's really good. And our good friend Mark, who is spoiler alert, Lego Masters champion, was part of a great video, and it was talking about the Scooby sets, and this happened, and it is one of the most amazing things. Hang on, there it is. Is one of the most amazing things. Did it share?
Oh my god.
He does the best. He does the best Scooby-Doo imitation, and so we will be adding that
Aggie.
to our joy on this show. It is now funnier than the fail rover. So
And to give it a little more information, if you go to their site and you check out their TV channel, the whole premise is that they were going to be reviewing all the Scooby-Doo sets and the Dimensions Scooby sets, and the intro is fantastic. It's about a whole 2 minutes. It's most of the crew, the core crew who works at Atlanta Brick Company, and they are the Scooby Gang. Justin, who does most of their videos, does Shaggy and does a spot on Shaggy.
Yeah, he does.
Even both managers, the owners of the store, are in on the whole thing. It is priceless. If you're
really good.
a fan of Mark or in general, you gotta go check it out. It's classic. It's awesome.
What's his face being Velma, always just walking through.
Oh,
going, where are my glasses? He never does anything but that.
The fact that they gender bent Velma, at first it was like, well, that's a little strange, but then I'm like, actually, it turned out to be perfect. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. So it's good to have those friends down there, and it's a good place to get cheap bricks. Hey, just something that I hadn't told everybody. Tomorrow, I'm actually hosting our good friend, our long departed Kevin Hinkle, his show tomorrow. I am his host for the 3
Kevin
hour
Hinkle draws at 10 a.m.
Yes. I will be the guest host, and hoping my brain is working better then. But it's all about 80s heroes and villains, so that's going to be a lot of fun and cartoons. So I'll be hosting that on Mr. Hinkle Draws tomorrow from 10 to 1, and I'm excited about that. So I'll be taking your requests and all that sort of stuff. So that will be amazing. And so join us the next Monday night. And Shannon, you're always welcome. We'll have you in the email blast. You can block us if you want to, if you're thinking we're spamming you. But you'll always be welcome to pop in here and yak. Mondays is the big invite. We have all of our friends. If you want to drop in, there'll be 10 of us in here yakking and just chewing the fat for a couple hours or an hour and everything. And we've gone an hour and 30 minutes, which is well over our normal time. And I know Matt needs to pee, so we're gonna get out of here. Thank you.
Already went.
Dana, your show is. Tell us about your show, please.
Yeah. So tomorrow, 3:00 Eastern time. I know it's a weird time, but I figured it's Friday afternoon. It's 3:00. People online, what are they doing? So on YouTube, look up Trebles Bricking, or if you follow me on Instagram, I'm going to try and do them both at the same time or one back to back. I don't know. We'll see.
That's right. And Intense or whatever your name is, it sounds like you're a Georgia guy. We need to talk to you about Peach Slug and all that kind of stuff too.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming by. All right. Be good, everybody. Be awesome to your neighbor. Build awesome. Be awesome. Have a great night. See y'all later. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.